Day 8. We successfully did 22.1 miles yesterday, which is definitely the most we have done so far, ever, actually, the biggest day. We started out with a road walk this morning. As you can see, we're back in the woods now. Mosquitoes are thick, so I'm suited up. End of the trail yesterday was a little buggier. Didn't have to put on my bug net, but probably could have. Was just being kind of lazy, I think. We got to Camp Doolittle and got 50-cent showers. Wasn't really sure what to expect with that, so I soaked up and got all clean because I didn't know how long the water was going to last. Luckily, I got to just stand there in the warm water for a while. We went out to dinner, had some good food at the Bluegill Bar and Grill. They had no bluegill on their menu, which we thought was kind of funny. Got about a little over 19 miles to do today. Bodies are still feeling pretty good. Shauna got us a cabin tonight, so we're still being spoiled. Alright, it is super hot today, but check out this place we found. Yeah. There is a bathroom that's clean. There was a water pump that we couldn't get to work, but there's a creek behind that we were able to get water from. We are trying out our cooling rags right there. There were outlets in there. That place was magical. Definitely struggling a bit before we got here, but hoping that things will turn around. It's just a hot day. We were in exposed areas that were hilly. Oh, and newsflash, the bug net, it keeps the bugs away, but also creates just like a sauna that you're trapped in. So I was trying to figure out why I was struggling so bad. And, you know, sweat was just dripping down my face and getting in my eyes, and you can't really get into the bug net easily. So I took it off, and now I have to decide if I want to sweat to death in the bug net or get bit by mosquitoes. But so far, no mosquitoes, so we'll see what happens later. Good morning. It is day 9. Yesterday we did 19.9 miles. It's a pretty hard day. It's really hilly. And really hot, but I had to give a shout out to Chica for recommending a cooling rag and my mom for just randomly having to when we were at base camp, and I realized I had forgotten to get some because they were super helpful. So Shauna picked us up on the road last night. We're doing a little bit of a gravel road walk this morning, and then about 7 miles on trail, and then there's an 18-mile road walk. We're expecting some storms this afternoon, so our goal is to get as far as we can this morning. And Sean's just going to pick us up on the road when the storms are coming so we don't get caught up in them. So definitely a good night. We stayed at Rose's Bay Resort, I think it was called. They had a bunch of little cabins. Ate some pizza. It was awesome. People were great. We are doing pretty good this morning. Had a couple of new blisters yesterday, but I do feel like my body is starting to recover a little faster, so that's encouraging. So, gotta get to it and beat the rain. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of monarchs flying around in this milkweed field. Alright, we walked about 10.5 miles before we dropped off our packs to Shauna. So we are now slack packing. We only have our water. We're trying to get about 5 more miles in, and we're expecting the rain and the storms to be here. So just trying to get what we can done in this road walk. I think earlier I said it was 18 miles in total, but really it's 21. So the more we can get done today, the less we can go, the less we have to do tomorrow in the sun. Doing pretty good. The road walk this morning was on pavement, but we're on the dirt road now, so that is a little bit better. Still pretty hot, humid. Hoping the rain will cool it off a little bit, but it still looks like it's going to be 80 tomorrow, so not much reprieve there. We are staying in a cabin tonight again, so we're out of the weather. Still getting spoiled. Soon we'll have to do this all on our own, and that definitely makes it a little harder, but we're so grateful for all the help we've had so far. And gotta knock these miles out so we can beat the storms. Good morning. We're on day 10. Shauna scooped us about 5 minutes before it started raining yesterday. We were still able to get 15 miles in, which is pretty awesome, and stayed dry through the night. It rained well after we went to bed, which was 8 o'clock. We went to a Leinenkugel brewing place. That was really cool. Tested out some beers. Had a good time. Went and had Mexican for dinner. Just continuing to be spoiled. You can see I don't have my pack on. Shauna's hanging out a few this morning to let us slack pack while we're still walking on the road. Our bodies are actually feeling pretty good. Last night my feet were really swollen and puffy, so I put them up in the air for a while, but this morning I can see my ankles again, so I've got that going for me. Not super enjoying road walks, however, there are some perks. There aren't really any bugs. You can catch a breeze when there is one, and we can go pretty fast. It's also really exposed, so it's supposed to be hot today and sunny this afternoon, so we're just trying to bust these out, get back on some real trail. Shauna is leaving us tomorrow, so we are working on figuring out our next few days and stops. It's going to get a little bit more tricky, but feeling pretty confident. We have lots of options, just figuring out what is best and what will work for us. We did it. 21-mile road walk done. Back in the woods for about 20 miles. And then there's a 28-mile road walk. So we're going to enjoy this time. We were able to get in a little over 10 miles before 10:30 this morning. And there was a nice park with a lake and a beach and sandy water you could wade in. So we walked in up to our knees and enjoyed the cool water, had lunch, got to meet some pretty cool dogs that were out for a swim, even though they didn't really want to be. It was a good day. The road walk was long, but we got really lucky, and we were in the shade most of the morning and didn't have our packs, so I think we had a pace of about 3.4 miles an hour, so that's pretty awesome. We know that's not going to continue today, but we've only got about 8 miles left for today, and we're feeling pretty good. I've got a little bit of a tight spot in my right leg, but nothing too terrible. We're looking forward to enjoying our last night with Shauna, being here and figuring out the next few days and going from there. Check this out. Water. Beautiful. Trail. And water. Good morning. It is day 11. Yesterday, that segment we did, the Chippewa Moraine, was absolutely our favorite so far. It was beautiful. I don't even know how to describe it. Just all of these beautiful lakes with completely calm water and the blue sky and clouds reflecting off it, and perfectly maintained trail. The Ice Age Trail Interpretive Center was also really cool. Great day. This morning we said goodbye to Shauna. which was of course difficult. So grateful for everything that she did for us out here. Now we are fully loaded with 4 days of food, and we're feeling it. Our packs are heavier than they have been for sure. We are having a short day actually. We didn't start until 9:30, and we're only doing about 12 miles, mostly because of camping options. So looking forward to getting to camp and getting this back off my back today. But we're just kind of meandering along. My leg is feeling better. I can see, it almost looks like a bruise, but I didn't hit it, so I'm not super sure what that's about, but it feels much better. So that's good. And you can see we're in the woods. The bugs are out, but not thick. And again, we're just kind of taking our time, hoping that we'll see more hikers since it's the weekend. And we can, do some hiker talk. It's fun to interact with people who are experiencing all these same things that you are, or completely different, but it's fun to share stories anyway. So here is hoping for a nice relaxing day. All right, we are at the place we were considering camping for just a 12-mile day, but we found out that the Brunette Island State Park has a special campsite for hikers, thru hikers, when the rest of the park is full. So we just had dinner on the trail here, and we are going to try to bust out 8 more miles. It's been a great day. We were just kind of moseying along for most of it. We were planning to stop at Picnic Lake for lunch, and there were 3 other hikers there, just out on a long weekend. So we had a nice visit with them. Talked a little bit about gear and what we were all doing out here. So that was nice. We are in the woods still. We did have a road walk that was kind of hard. It was just really hot and gravelly, which you might think would be more like the trail and would be better, but it has a bunch of loose rocks, so it makes it kind of hard on you. So time for us to get serious and see if we can't get these last 8 miles in and end up at the state park tonight. Good morning, day 12. You might be thinking, wow, she looks refreshed and clean. Because I am. We made our 8 miles to the campground, well, the road that goes back to the campground last night. And then realized it was still about 1.5 miles back. So we had just taken a break, and we're trying to convince our feet to be feet again. And started walking towards the campground, and a gentleman stopped and asked us if we wanted a ride. And we got into his truck, and he asked us if we had a site reserved, if we'd already spent money, and we said no. And he said, oh, why don't you come and sleep in our basement? And so we said, okay, sure. So within 30 minutes, we had hot turkey sandwiches, whiskey sours, hot showers, laundry in, and it was all followed up with homemade blueberry peach cobbler that was warm with ice cream on top. So crazy thing how things work sometimes. We slept inside and got to get some puppy love from Cleo, and there are no words to describe this kind of generosity from people who don't know us, and especially in the state we were in, because let me just tell you, we typically don't smell very good. All we're doing is hiking and wearing the same clothes over and over again, and just crazy. So we are starting a 28-ish mile road walk today. We are refreshed. And him and his wife own an ice cream shop here. And so they also fed us eggs and bacon and toast this morning and coffee. And then before dropping us off, they took us to the ice cream shop, and we had 3 scoops of ice cream and a waffle cone. So I think it's safe to say we have hiker hunger, because we had eaten a gross amount of food, and I don't feel full, so I think I could eat more. So, super wonderful day. Hey guys, you pretty tame? Huh? Having some dinner? Ooh, I'm jealous. Hello there. It is the night of day 13. Yeah, whoa, we've skipped some time. We walked on the road all day yesterday in the hot sun. It was kind of miserable, but we stopped at Jim's Shady Nook and took a break in the heat of the day. Had a few drinks with some of the locals, rested our feet, ate some waffle fries, so that was nice. And pretty much everything from there was downhill. We were super tired and super hot. I was having problems with my left foot and I wasn't sure why, and my right shin thing that I've been having seems to be irritated by the road walk, so I was really slugging along. Marty got kind of far ahead of me, and I saw him go into the entrance to the park that we were supposed to be staying at, and when I got up to the sign, it said day use area, so I kind of questioned that, but was hoping at least if nothing else there would be somebody back there that could point us in the right direction to the campground. Unfortunately, we walked 3/4 of a mile back there and there was no one around, but we knew that the park was closing at 9 and it was like 8:30, so we just kind of decided we were going to stop and wait and see what would happen if somebody would come back and check the park before they closed the gate. And lucky for us, they did, gave us a ride to the campsite. So we got all hooked up right at the entrance to super close, so we didn't have to walk far, which was great because we were, again, super tired. Our feet were pretty sore from walking on the road all day. And then today we walked on the road again. I know I said 28 miles yesterday, but it was more than that because yesterday we did over 20. And today I think we did at least 16 and a half on the road. So it was just a lot of exposed, hot road walking. But we also stopped today in the middle of the day to get out of the heat at Diane's Back 40. Had some food, had some more beer. They filled up our waters, you know, it's just kind of nice to be able to hang out in those places. So we got that done and we got off of the road finally about 6 o'clock, and we are here in the tent in the dark, ready to go to bed. Had a good dinner and we're in the middle of nowhere, but we've got water and a stream nearby, and hopefully we get a nice restful night's sleep. Good morning. It is day 14 and we are about 2 to 3 miles into our day. We had a really pretty good sleep last night. There were not hardly any noises where we were camping. I remembered when I got done doing my I'm tired but wanted to do a video for the day that there are a few stories I missed. So walking on the road, of course, I mentioned was hot and kind of miserable. We had to use our umbrellas most of the time to provide some kind of shade. And when cars pass, they either kind of were like excited and waving or doing like the dog head tilt, like, what are those people doing? But when we got to Jim's Shady Nook, we were actually just getting ready to leave and someone pulled into the parking lot and they were like, it's the umbrella people. And he was so excited, maybe kind of drunk, but he told us we were killing it and he was excited. So that was kind of fun. And also the reason I found out my left foot was hurting so bad when we got to the campsite at Otter Lake, I took off my shoe and I had a plethora of blisters. I think my shoes are too small. I mean, they're my normal size, but your feet tend to get a little bigger, as you can imagine, swelling and all that from all this walking. So I have a remedy for that coming tomorrow. My dad will be here and has a new pair of shoes that are half a size bigger. So I just got to kind of tough it out until then. But I think that is the problem. It's kind of making my feet hurt a little more than I think they should. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you guys was that when we were at the Otter Lake campground, again, I slept really well there, but when I did wake up, I heard so many owls hooting, and it was just really cool. I wish I would have had the energy to get out and try to find one because it's just not something you see very often. But anyway, today we are kind of hiking without a plan. I lost one of my water bottles yesterday, so sorry, Ice Age Trail. I have no idea where it came out. It was empty, and we went through a few spots that were really brushy, and I suspect it just kind of got picked up right out of there, and I didn't even know it. We're gonna be fine. We still have 3 liters in my 2 liter water bladder, so it's not really a big deal. I just feel a little bad about leaving that on the trail, but I have no idea where it is. But yeah, we've got lots of water sources today and lots of potential camp spots, so we're just gonna see how far we can get with my poor feet in too small of shoes. So wish us luck. Hello. We are at our camp for the evening. It's pretty cool. We might not think so if we didn't have our thermocell because there were quite a few mosquitoes attacking us, but that thing works wonders. We had our no plan day and it turned into pretty slow going. I think we're both kind of tired, which is probably to be expected since we've hiked over 240 miles in the last 14 days. So we just kind of took it easy and listened to our bodies and took Advil a few times. And there's some pretty great little camp spots that we came across today where we got to take a lot of breaks. And then, of course, we ended up here by a creek, so that was nice. Got to kind of clean up, so hopefully we can sleep a little better. It was really hot today, but again, we were just kind of taking it easy and not in a rush to get anywhere. So that was kind of nice. And my dad will be here tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to new shoes so I don't have to shove my fat little feet into my current shoes anymore. Otherwise, I think our bodies are doing relatively well. Our blisters are all starting to heal. We're really just kind of tired. So I think we're going to be planning a 0 day this week. And we really can't wait for that, especially since we get to spend it with my dad. So that is awesome. And I am hopeful that we're going to get a good night's sleep up here because it is very peaceful. Check it out. Oh, yeah, there's all my clothes hanging on my hiking sticks. So anyway, we'll see you all in the morning.